I'm going to read an email message I received from somebody, and then my response back, and then once more back and forth. And I would not be doing this just to tell you about my email conversations with people. Rather, I think that this will be helpful for more people than just this individual, which of course I'll call Bill, if I call him anything at all, because everybody's Bill, as I pointed out before. Okay. He writes, "Hello, sir. I'm a really scared 20-year-old guy. Currently, I'm studying information technology, and I have the basic knowledge of science. After watching your interviews, I'm just confused about my whole life. I mean, what should I even do?" I'm going to put emphasis on his words and on my words by speaking a little bit louder. Should I just leave everything and go live my life as if we only have a couple years left, or should I keep doing what I'm doing right now? Because everything that I do right now seems pointless. Trust me, I've had those days. I'm from India, and my family has expectations from me, like getting a good job and being respected by society to support my family in the future and to be happy. But the truth is that I have been struggling with depression for 4 to 5 years now. And then when I saw your videos, I panicked. Then I started researching about the climate crisis intensely, and everything that I have seen or heard so far points towards catastrophe. I mean, look at the world right now. Mass protests in France, Russia-Ukraine war, China-Taiwan tensions, North Korea's recent missile testings near Japan, increase in drugs and crimes, mass shootings in U.S., higher rents and mortgages in U.S. and Canada, India's non-democratic PM, Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, the most corrupt PM in all Indian history, floods in Pakistan, civil war in Sudan, rivers and lakes drying up in US, China, and Europe. I mean, the world is already so chaotic, and then there's the climate crisis. Billions of people are already suffering, and they're going to suffer more and more. And not just humans, but all life on Earth is going to suffer and eventually go extinct. All I can feel is sadness and hopelessness for all life on Earth. After many years, we thought that we're free, but whenever I look today, all I can see is financial slavery. If we don't work, we get left behind and die. Capitalism has caused huge damage to nature and created an immense amount of organized competition between us humans. But this competition also gave the current technologies and capabilities that we have today. But now it's just so out of control. I wanted to say more things, but I think this email sums it up. Sorry for this huge email. Please guide me. What should I do? Thank you for reading. My response then, thank you for your message, Bill. These are challenging times for informed people. You clearly fall into the category of informed, for better and worse. I'm reminded of a couple of lines from Southwestern American writer Edward Abbey. Quote, "The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time." End quote. Cactus Ed died relatively young. How do we live? That's a very old question, probably dating to the first civilizations on Earth. I'm asked nearly every day for advice about living. I recommend living where you feel most alive and simultaneously where you feel most useful. I recommend living fully. I recommend living with intention. I recommend living urgently with death in mind. I recommend the pursuit of excellence. I recommend the pursuit of love. In light of the short time remaining in your own life and in mine, I recommend all of the above louder than before, more fully than you can imagine, to the limits of this restrictive culture and beyond. For you, for me, for us, for here, for now. Live large, be you, and bolder than you've ever been. Live as though you're dying. The day draws near. We don't know when we will die. Based on abundant evidence, I suspect it will be quite soon. Not tomorrow, though. If you live fully, a day can be a long time. I encourage you to live fully. Just in case it's not clear from my response so far, I strongly encourage you to take right action. Be decent with and to others as you would like others to treat you. Do you like what you're doing? Are you satisfied with IT work? Do you find time to spend with people you love? If so, then keep doing what you're doing. All best wishes, Guy. Bill writes back, "Hello, sir. I'm sorry I'm sending you a second email. It's hard to accept this kind of fate. I still have some questions that I wanted to ask. 1. How much time do we have? like 5 to 10 years? Because the wildfires in Alberta, Canada have gone out of control and they have declared a state of emergency. I wonder what's going to happen after the El Nino effect. 2, is there any possibility that we can save ourselves? 3, who can I trust? I mean, the IPCC is conservative, as you said. Is it actually like the scene from Don't Look Up, when there was a comet and they said, don't look up, but then later on people saw it and realized that the authorities lied to them? 4, how do I convince the people around me? I tried telling my father, he's an engineer, and he said that there are brilliant people, we have science, and that nature is so big and complex that life will go on. Billions of years of evolution on life, and it's going to end like this. Whenever I studied science, my love and respect for it just always grew. There is so much left to explore. It's just really hard to accept this. It's funny how being knowledgeable in an uncontrollable situation can act like prison. I'm sorry if I'm being a nuisance to you, but can I send you more emails in the future if I want to ask you some more questions? Thank you, sir, for replying. In my response, first I included his questions to make it clear to what I was responding. So I'm going to reread the questions that he sent me before I give my responses. 1, how much time do we have? Like 5 to 10 years? Because the wildfires in Alberta, Canada have gone out of control and they have declared a state of emergency. I wonder what's going to happen after the El Nino effect. My response, 2 renowned professors concluded Earth would experience an ice-free Arctic Ocean this year. We know with great certainty they are wrong. As I've reported many times at GuyMcPherson.com, an ice-free Arctic Ocean spells our demise. Will it happen next year, with loss of habitat for human animals to disappear within several months after that? Perhaps. Or maybe we have a few more years left. 2, is there any possibility that we can save ourselves? My response, it seems unlikely, and I don't know how. I thought meer.org, that's MEER.org, offered a way. Now I think it's too late. 3, who can I trust? I mean, the IPCC is conservative, as you said. Is it actually like the scene from Don't Look Up, when there was a comet and they said, don't look up, but then later on people saw and realized that the authorities lied to them? My response, I do not trust corporate media personalities, paid climate scientists, or government officials. I'm unpaid since May 1st, 2009. I have no reason to lie. I could add on more, but that's enough for now. Question 4 from Bill, how do I convince the people around me? I tried telling my father, he's an engineer, and he said there are brilliant people, we have science, and that nature is so big and complex that life will go on. My response, that's not your responsibility. I tried and failed. You need not torture yourself. Love your father. Like all of us, he is a product of his unique genetics and his unique personal history. Just as you cannot look away, he cannot accept the evidence. He writes in that previous message, billions of years of evolution of life, and it's going to end like this. Whenever I studied science, my love and respect for it just always grew. There is so much left to explore. It's just really hard to accept this. It's funny how being knowledgeable in an uncontrollable situation can act like poison. My response, life's a bitch and she's in heat again. That's a line from a film, They Live. Back to his message. I'm sorry if I'm being a nuisance to you, but can I send you more emails in the future if I want to ask you some more questions? And I responded with, yes, of course, especially if you're not too particular about my answers. Best wishes, Guy. So that was the end of our back and forth exchange, and it indicates that some people really want to know, they really want the information, and yet when they discover the information, it's devastating. And I'm perfectly willing to admit that it's horrible information. It's a terrible situation we have found ourselves in. We're in the midst of abrupt and irreversible climate change. All the science points that way. At the edge of extinction, only love remains.